tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to Platinum Soldier's number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Don Blight. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey John, excited to be here recording again right before PlayStation buys Kojima Productions.
That's right. This week on the show, we've got a handful of news stories to talk about. The show will probably be very short, and then after we're done recording, I'll edit this show, and then PlayStation will announce that they've brought some fucking studio. So that'll be great. Good shit.
Or they won't, and this will be the same joke we run like 6/10 of the year.
Well, I mean, look, there's enough. I'm just going to move around the fucking show order here, and let's just talk about this shit now. I was going to talk about something else first, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? So yeah, obviously, I don't remember what we even talked about last week. I think we talked about the FromSoftware rumors or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't even remember. Anyway, Sqaure writes, Kojima Productions not being brought by Sony, says Hideo Kojima. So there was a bunch of, they write, yesterday's online speculation of Sony potentially by Kojima Productions picked up enough attention overnight that Hideo Kojima himself felt the need to comment on the rumors. So this was all based on the fact that the PlayStation, someone, I don't know who originally spotted it and shared it, but someone originally spotted and shared that on the PlayStation website, the banner thing that has all the first party studio game things, that added Death Stranding to it. It actually had taken the place of Concrete Genie, which is disgusting. But so you got old, and it's the director's cut artwork too, which is another thing. But anyway, that goes around. So then there was a couple period where everyone's like, oh, they're definitely buying Kojima. There's all these rumors that PlayStation's about to announce they've brought up a studio. So everyone's like, oh, they're buying Kojima Productions, and then even Hideo Kojima retweets it or some shit, and then shortly after that has to then post this other tweet where he quote retweets it and says, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, but Kojima Productions has been and will continue to be an independent studio. And then even amongst all of that, everyone goes, yes, but also they brought Bungie.
Yes, but that's exactly what Bungie said.
Yes.
They said, yeah, we're going to be owned by PlayStation, but we're still going to be very independent.
Yes. So even that doesn't kill the confusion, because everyone's like, he could be not lying, but secretly, he could still be brought and then he's still independent. Fucking ridiculous.
Kojima Productions could be independent, but the studio he actually works for, Blue Box Studios, could actually be bought by PlayStation going forward.
Yeah. So I don't know what your thoughts are on all this. To me, it is as simple as Sony does own the Death Stranding IP.
I think it's just a weird. It's just a weird choice to put that in the thing when it says PlayStation Studios.
Yeah,
you would be thinking, hey, these are all the first-party studios owned by PlayStation.
Mm.
You've got enough of them at this point that you could have. I mean, Concrete Genie deserved to be on that.
Well, they own that studio
in that image. Yeah. It's crazy. It just seems like a weird thing that's obviously because of the massive rumor going around that PlayStation is lining somebody up. It just spread like wildfire. But yeah, it seems a weird choice to have put that in there in the first place. And the timing of it, it's just, it all led to wild speculation. And, it might be true. Could you?
That's it.
They're like, hey, we'll give you as much money as you want. Just do whatever you want. Just, maybe don't do it with Xbox.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing people brought up. The fact that the story is at the moment that, Hideo Kojima's next big game is a Xbox game. Xbox.
Yeah, because Phil Spence had a Kojima figure in his background on his wall. That's the only reason. That's just got as much credence as this.
Look, everything on that back wall comes to life.
Means something. Did we look at all those different books that are on the shelf?
Yeah, well, they're all books that he's going to acquire and turn into
What type of
games.
wood is that? What type of wood is that shelf made out of?
I don't know, but I'm sure there's a secret to that
important.
as well.
Could be secret.
I guarantee there's a secret to that as well. Even though, we talked about it last week or whatever, but the latest on it, Jewel Shockers, I just saw this one a couple hours ago, but it's PlayStation might be gearing up to acquire FromSoftware, as per the latest report published by one of the most prominent analysts in the gaming industry. According to a new report posted by a popular gaming analyst and insider, Dr. Serkan Toto, who was also the CEO of Tokyo-based gaming industry consultancy Cartoon Games. FromSoftware is rumored to be merger and acquisition candidate for Sony. He goes on to give the rundown of the company's history, which dates back to 1986. One of the projects, blah, blah, blah. This is not the first time we've heard about the acquisition of FromSoftware by Sony, as the rumors have been making around for a few weeks now. In fact, a number of people have used social media to state that the acquisition has been completed, but it was only an April Fool's joke back then. Well, considering how rampant the rumors were, many did end up believing it. So yeah, I can't keep up at this stage. On one arm, you've got people. There's like several people in one camp saying that it's FromSoftware. Then you've got all these other people. The Hideo, the Kojima Productions thing started up last week. And then you've got other people like Jeff Grubb saying that the acquisition is someone bigger than Kojima Productions or whatever he said. And then does that mean FromSoftware? Does that not mean FromSoftware? Does it mean someone else completely? Does it? I don't know. Like, either way, I definitely feel like at this stage, there's just like consistent talking about this Sony acquisition that something has to be announced soon, or the internet will turn itself, as it does, insane with the amount of speculation and articles. And we're only part of it now because we're doing fucking half this show probably talking about it. You know what I mean? So. Do you reckon I'm actually going to get something soon, like after we're done recording, or what do you reckon?
I don't know. We speculate every week. It could happen. It could not happen. I believe it's like end of financial year there over in the US, or it's like tax day or whatever at the moment. So maybe, maybe to start the financial quarter off, they make a big announcement. Well, don't know. Who knows what crazy how these things play out or when. There's no pattern at all.
Yeah, who knows? Oh, find out. I'm going to say it's a very quiet week. We just had come off Easter. No one was really going to do anything last week because
everybody was taking a break.
Easter week, but so
full of chocolate. Yeah,
maybe this week, maybe next week. Something soon. I say something soon. I'm going with soon.
Something soon.
Too much smoke. Too much smoke to not be a fire. Coming up hot. Coming up over the hill.
I mean, it could be vapor.
No. It's burning. It's raging. Raging fire over here. Plus, the longer we wait, the closer we just get to June. And then we're in that E3 period thing. So it's like... And Sony hates to be part of any of that. So they usually like to announce everything before and or after and just leave that whole period alone. Like, we're not part of it. We just don't exist in June. What's happening? Nothing. Don't care. What have we got here? No more Ghost of Tsushima updates. Let's press start. Sucker Punch Productions has just pushed Ghost of Tsushima patch 2.18 into the world, and if a slightly heartwarming message included at the top end of the patch notes is to be believed, it looks to be the last major update that the game will receive. So they said, quote, while we are actively working on additional patches at the moment, we'll continue to monitor feedback on the community run GOT Legends subreddit and messages sent to @SuckerPunch Productions on Twitter for any high priority bugs or issues that emerge. We want to say a huge thank you to the entire community for the incredible amount of support and feedback we've gotten since launch. When Legends launched in October 2020, we expected to not have such an active community, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, be that the main game, be that Legends, whatever else. What was the DLC called? Island something, whatever that was.
Ishi Island?
Ishi Island, yep. It's all over. That game's officially done. They're which is good because that means that
then they can make the sequel.
Yeah, it means whatever amount of people were on the dedicated patch team, like working on stuff for this and Legends and whatever else, then they all get to roll on over to actually working on the sequel. So you had a good run, Ghost of Tsushima. Time to move on. Yep. Rest in peace.
I mean, yeah, we got lots of extra content. Got a full director's cut afterwards.
Yep.
So, I mean, what more could you want?
Did you ever go play that DLC?
No, I'm waiting till...
It's like on sale or something.
Eventually.
So, yeah. Considering how much you love that. You like that game more than me. Fake fan.
Yeah.
Fake fan. Come on, what are you doing? How much is the upgrade? I don't actually remember. Like, how much is the...
I can't remember.
There's like a cost.
I can't remember if I actually did buy it or I did not buy it.
Oh, Moneybags Ashley over here is just Did I buy it? Did I
Old
not
money
buy
bags,
it?
yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Just, yeah.
There's some important shit in that DLC.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
It's like
I look
saying
forward to eventually playing it.
it's like how I'm just going to continue saying
like a Spider-Man DLC.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like we're going to talk about as we get closer to the release of Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm going to be like, hey, did you play the important side story? And people will be like, yeah, I played Miles Morales. Man, not Miles Morales, motherfucking city that never sleeps. That shit's important. That shit's more important than Miles Morales. Maybe not, but it's important. Miles Morales game probably important to play to understand Miles coming into Marvel Spider-Man 2. If you want to understand why, I can't even remember what that character's name is, but why a certain character isn't friends with Peter
Yuri?
anymore. Yep, Yuri. Why Yuri isn't friends with Peter anymore. Go play a city that never sleeps. Fake fans all around. No one plays DLC. Yep. I was thinking about this other day, right? Actually, just a quick side tangent. Thinking about this other day. I used to get so excited, and I feel like more people used to get really excited, DLC updates and stuff. And I feel like these days, because we get a lot less DLCs, I feel like we get less DLC. Or do you think I'm just going insane? Like I was thinking like, there's less DLC because there's more just like games of service and like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's probably true. But then you also get a lot of like indie games just give you free DLC. So I mean, it's just an update, like the Bugsnax thing, or otherwise, the DLC is like so far away from the game. It's like, what am I even doing? Like obviously Cyberpunk DLC is not coming out for another 6 years. So
yeah, well, that's what fucked me on the Horizon Forbidden.
Yeah,
Frozen
that's
Wilds.
the other thing. Like, what's the longest period between the full game and the DLC? Do you think is appropriate?
I think the last I think it should come out like 3 months after.
That's the ideal.
That's the ideal. I say like 3 months would be ideal. But you know what the problem? This is the thing. People always used to be like, you can't put the DLC out too soon because then people like expect it to have been
part of the game.
Part of the game. But if you wait too long, or you only start development of it after you've shipped and finished the game, then it comes out like a year later, and people like me go, I can't remember how to play this goddamn game, so I'm just going to skip it. I don't care anymore. Or I don't care about this game anymore.
You know what we should do? We should do videos of how to play games. So when people jump back into DLC, be like, just explain the videos of the mechanics.
If someone hasn't already done that, I'll be surprised, but yes, it's a very good idea.
So somebody do that so we don't have to.
Yeah, I was supposed to say.
So we can use that.
Yeah.
Use that resource.
If someone wants to make those and publish them.
The tutorial videos for the games about to receive DLC.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, like, even The Last of Us Left Behind DLC was like over a year, I think. Which wasn't so bad because that game's like mechanics.
It's a standalone story. Yeah.
You don't need to like level up or, it's just you walk and shoot shit. The Frozen Wilds thing was the difficulty was end-game difficulty, and it's very driven by shooting the right particular like rock, paper, scissors bloody mechanics. Anyway, after this podcast this year's just been me complaining about the Frozen Wilds, I feel, but whatever. Oddworld Soulstorm PlayStation Plus still devastating for developer, writes Eurogamer. While many see the inclusion of the game on Sony's PlayStation Plus service as a real boon, others feel less so. In fact, Oddworld inhabitants Law Lanning has revealed that getting Oddworld Soulstorm on PlayStation Plus was devastating. Chatting to Xbox Expansion Pass, Lanning said their team initially thought they would sell roughly 50,000 units of Oddworld Soulstorm, and certainly no more than 100,000. The studio is also looking for some financial help to keep the game alive, and as such, when Sony approached the team offering an undisclosed amount of money to put its game PlayStation Plus for the release month, Lanning took the deal. However, the game's release was delayed by 3 months due to the ongoing effects of the pandemic. With the game's later release, Lanning said more people than previously estimated now had access to a PlayStation 5. As a result, Lanning revealed Oddworld Soulstorm was downloaded almost 4 million times through PlayStation Plus, vastly overshooting the team's expectations. For us, it was devastating, Lanning claimed. Following its release on PC and PlayStation consoles in April 2021, Oddworld Soulstorm went on to launch on Xbox in November. Lanning, however, did not disclose how the game sales compared on Xbox. I think this is, I don't know. I think this is personally like This is the risk reward of the taking the money for either PlayStation Plus or a Game Pass deal or whatever like that. So it's up to you, I guess. Like he's saying, like we expected to sell this many units, blah 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 blah. His complaint is that because they did the maths on how much they reckon people would download. So they reckon they were supposed to release in whatever month it was, but it was delayed by 3 months. And they looked at it, said, there's this many PlayStation 5s out there. We will lose this many people will get the game for free. This is the amount of money PlayStation's giving us. That's fine. Cool. Tick, 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 tick. He's then saying that 3 months late, because 3 months passed, and there were so many more PlayStations out there, which I find hard to believe there's really that many more PlayStations out there in 3 months, considering you still struggle. Yeah, because you still struggle to find people. Still struggle to like 3 months. It's not like they doubled. I just don't buy into that. But he's then saying 3 months later, so many more people had PlayStation 5s that so many more downloaded the game and caused such issues to the sales. I just find issue with this because it's then implying that everyone who downloaded via PlayStation Plus would have brought the game anyway. Which is always the thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is 100% not true.
Yeah, which is just not how it works. Like, there are cases where, like, we always bring up the sort of the be-all flagstone, I think, for PlayStation Plus, like, sort of making a game, in my opinion, which is Rocket League, right? I really do not think that if Rocket League hadn't been on PlayStation Plus, that game, I do not think would have become the mass success it did now. I think the only reason that game, Rocket League, took off was because it was free. A bunch of people downloaded it because they had PlayStation Plus. It then blew up because of that, and now it's gone on to make a fucking ton more money than it would have, I think, if it had launched as a $30, $40 game that people had to buy. So I think that's the risk reward there paid off handsomely. To say that all these people downloading Oddworld, a very niche game as is, a remake of a older Oddworld game as well, to say all these people who downloaded on PlayStation Plus would have brought it, no, I just don't buy into this narrative personally. Like, sure, you would have lost some sales. So I like, obviously there's a cross between people who really wanted to play the game and would have brought it and have PlayStation Plus and thus that just downloaded it for free. But I really just think that percentage compared to the percentage of people who wouldn't have brought it and just downloaded it because they have PlayStation Plus is so much higher, So yeah, I don't know.
Do you think 50,000 people would have bought Oddworld?
No. Maybe across PlayStation and Steam.
50,000 PlayStation.
No, I don't think 50,000 PlayStation. I really don't think 50,000 people who own PlayStation 5s would have brought Oddworld, in my opinion. Sorry, Lawn Learning. No offense, but I just don't. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when the reviews were kind of middling. You reviewed it for the website, I believe. You gave it like a 6 or something.
6 or something?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, it does play into my thing about, all these subscription services not necessarily
you love
being
this
the best for developers, but I think obviously he's got a little bit. I understand is like, maybe the thinking is, hey, we could have potentially gotten more money out of this deal, and like those 3 months kind of screwed us, but like I don't think it was that much of a difference. And yeah, I just generally don't think PS Plus for new story based. I think PS Plus launching as if your multiplayer game is fantastic because, we all know they have other ways of making revenue from people who buy the game or download it through PS Plus or whatever, like Rocket League, like Fall Guys, like Knockout City or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, putting a story based game out is like people just download it and then, who even knows if they play it or not? I mean, I downloaded it. I probably never played it.
Yeah.
That's... yeah, you can't translate the people who download it to actual sales. It's like almost impossible. So yeah, that's the risky run. Like with a lot of these deals, that whether, at least we get a kind of idea of like, hey, the equivalent of what they paid out was more than worth 50,000 sales would have been.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We don't know how much they got paid by Sony for the thing.
Well, it'd be more than what 50,000 sales would have been. in their minds.
If that's what they asked for, I guess. Like,
well, that's the base minimum, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the lowest it would have been. Yeah. So, you know, hopefully they got. I mean, it's also hard because obviously once they put it out there, like it's hard to like sell it on other consoles after that as well. Like the sales are never going to reach that same number, especially with the reviews and the general non-discussion around it.
I think the other interesting thing and like part of this that just makes me think that sounds mean to say, but it really does come across like the game didn't. Lorne's sort of just complaining because the game didn't sell as much as they wanted, and like just finding anything to blame that isn't the game's quality or the fact that most people don't care about Oddworld in 2021, 2022. You know, like unfortunately, but like the fact that it's like just came out on Xbox and it was there for everyone to purchase and it was on PC for everyone to purchase, and instead of being like, look, on PC we sold X amount of numbers and on Xbox we sold this many numbers, like he has no numbers there to brag about because I'd highly doubt there are numbers there to brag about, you know.
But were those numbers affected because they put their game out on PS Plus and everybody got it on PS Plus first?
I doubt it because most people don't own PS5s and Xbox Ones, and you know what I mean. The majority of people
on
have
PS4?
Majority of people have
was
consoles.
it exclusive to PS5 or?
It was exclusive to PS5 for a while and PC.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like...
Well, people could have just redeemed it, I guess, and played it eventually when they could get a PS5.
I mean, potentially, yeah.
But yeah, this seems a little bit like bitter about the business choice.
Yeah.
You know? And really, if they hadn't been delayed, maybe he wouldn't be as complaining as much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I just made a bad decision, but no, COVID fucked me over.
Yeah, I just don't feel like that three months delay. I just don't see that making that much of a difference. No, I don't buy that at all. Not a bit. Maybe a year or something. You know what I mean? Like maybe even 6 months, 3 months. What? 2 more people got PS5s? Like,
yeah,
come on. Let's talk about the one PlayStation Productions story. Latest update is, so it's to do with the Ghost of Tsushima movie. So, of course, we already knew that John Wick director Chad Stahelski was going to be directing it. Deadline has now reported that TAKASHI DOSCHER will be writing the screenplay for the film. Mostly an unknown, I guess. Like he's wrote a couple of projects. There's a movie called Still 2018, a movie called Only from 2019 that things have put out. He also directed a 2010 documentary, A Fighting Chance, for ESPN. But like definitely no, like compared to Chad Stahelski, there's no like standout, everyone would know this sort of thing or whatever. But now that we have a director and a writer, the movie is officially, I guess, in that that stage where you can start sort of chugging along and get the screenplay together and everything like that. But yeah, what do you make anything of this? Like, or did you expect them to hire someone a bigger sort of writer or someone more prominent? But or what for this?
I guess maybe. I mean, because they've got a bigger name, like
Director
writing on The Last of Us, so in Craig Mazin, at least leading the writing team. But I mean, this is the first movie, I guess. They didn't exactly have household names on Uncharted either, I don't think. So, I mean, we'll wait and see. But obviously, you've got a good foundation to build off, so I mean, that makes life a lot easier, I'd imagine. So yeah, it's just picking the bits and pieces from that, I guess.
And I'd say also, like, although they have a more known writer, like heads behind the Last of Us thing, what are a lot of the directors? They're lesser known names. They're more, you know, your film festival winning types, not your
on Last of Us.
Yeah, like in the directors' chairs. So
yeah. But yeah, TV is different to film, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, in film, like directors is everything. Whereas in TV, directors are just the people who enact the showrunner's vision. But that's how the audience views it, though. That's what I'm saying. Not necessarily what it actually is.
Ryan Johnson directed one of the best episodes of Breaking Bad, and you know what that episode got him? Star Wars.
Nothing.
No.
Oh yeah, got him a lifetime of complaints.
Lifetime of hate.
Trolling. Yeah.
Really directs it now. So.
What a trade-off.
Yeah, worth it.
How do you feel about the people who are like, hey, Ghost of Tsushima, they should just get all the mocap people to come act in the movie?
Nah.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. It's like, this is a completely different medium. Why not this is opportunity to give someone else a shot at having their own interpretations of the characters. Do you just want the game just in the movie? Gamers have a weird obsession with the OG people always playing the roles. It's weird. It is weird.
It is weird. Like, it happens.
Especially recently, yeah.
Yeah, it's always a thing. Like, who should play Drake? Nathan Fillion. Who should play Joel? Troy Baker. Troy Baker. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's always like, oh.
I mean, Nathan Fillion didn't actually play Drake, but yeah.
Oh, fucking yeah, that's
in the video games.
Yeah, sorry. But there was a bit like people wanted him. People wanted Nolan North. Like years ago when the movie was originally being talked about, and then because he got too old, they were like, "Oh, it can be Nathan Fillion." And then that was like the one time where people got behind someone else. But I feel like other than that, it's like always like the video game people. But I just don't feel like, and it's nothing against them. It's just like they're completely different mediums. Like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, and I'm not even trying to say that maybe there are times where the video game voice actors could like come aboard and play, especially these days where, you know, they're a lot more mocapped and all these other sorts of things or whatever. And like, sure, if the director decides that, yeah, they are the perfect person to play the role, but they're completely different mediums. I just say, like, it's the same as, like, I would say, like, a stage actor, like, learning how to do a movie is, again, a completely different medium. You've got to learn, stage acting is
playing to a wide audience.
And then all of a sudden you're filming a movie where you've got to spend all this time learning boxing, like for positioning, and
you don't need to perform to the people.
Yeah,
50 rows back is what the difference is.
Yeah, like they're just completely different mediums. To imply that all acting is the same,
it's the same.
Yeah, I just don't. No, that's not how it works. That's not a thing. All acting is not the same. And
if you just want them to if you just want the exact same thing as the game, just
replay the game.
Game.
Yeah, just play the game. You know, like it's the same. Like when you see normal actors, quote unquote normal, like Hollywood actors, whatever, and they come and they train, like they're doing voice acting in a say a game or a animated thing or something, and quite often it's subpar because they're not trained voice actors, and the voice actors are a lot better.
Fast and Furious Crossroads.
Yeah, exactly. Peter Dinklage, Destiny, is like probably one of the most prominent versions of that, where he completely got written out because it was so bad. You know, so like, this whole like, oh, they're all the same. Like, no, that's not a thing. So, no, cast who the best person is for the role. If it's the same person, sure. Otherwise, no. But you don't start like that. It's fucking dumb.
No, yeah.
I do hope this is a very violent movie, though. I gotta be honest. Like, if they try and make this shit PG, I'll be very pissed off.
No, I don't think they will, but especially with Chad involved, like,
yeah,
there will be blood.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
I hope so. Because there's just some things where it's like this time period, violent. You know.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around it. So, and the game is violent. Like, it's not super gory. It's still violent.
But, yeah, there's beheadings and shit.
Yeah, I'm not saying you need to make the movie, you know, grotesque, but violent. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's all for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns, your thoughts about how something was announced right as you're listening to this that we haven't talked about because it was announced afterwards. Oh no, PlayStation bought
I can't
Square
believe
Enix.
PlayStation and Nintendo have merged.
What a fucking story that would be. You can find us on Twitter, heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. Join our Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you like this episode and want to support us, give us $1. Set up a monthly recurring payment to help support this show, all of our podcasts, the website itself, all of those things. explosionnetwork.com/support. And until next week, remember, every trophy counts.